Well, good morning, everybody. This is DearMamaSal, and it is 8 degrees here in southern British Columbia, and that would make it 47 in American. It's Thursday. Yay. For those of you who don't know, I don't work on Fridays, so Thursday is my Friday. And for those of you who know that on Thursdays I try and remind you that we don't have far to go until spring. So for those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, we have just 51 more days. I mean, that's just a drop in the bucket. It's not even 2 months. Yay! 51 days. Now, as I have warned you, just don't get too excited because we definitely have had snow in the spring before now. And for those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, enjoy the Barbie while you, in the Southern Hemisphere, enjoy the Barbie when you can, because you've got autumn on the way. This is good stuff. Okay, a couple of things I want to talk about today. The number one thing is something that struck me in terms of the situation in the US. You know, I've been listening to all this thing about Ted Cruz and the fact he was born in Canada and all the rest of that. And I've sort of, like probably a lot of people, rolled my eyes a bit about that, except something came to my mind. And it only came to my mind today when I was putting on my makeup this morning. When I was just a young thing and just leaving school, my mum's big dream for me was that I would join the Foreign Office, and that's become a diplomat. Now, we all know, for those of you who know me, Sal becoming a diplomat is perhaps not the wisest choice, but but fate intervened. When I think about it now, I'm really quite glad that I didn't. However, it is what she wanted for me, and so I went and applied to become part of the Foreign Office. And the interesting thing was they refused me, very politely, but they refused me on the basis that I was born in a different country. I was born in Holland, of British parents. I had no control. They dropped me there at the time. But just the fact that I was born in another country precluded me from being eligible to be part of the British Foreign Office. I'm throwing this out here because I'm beginning to wonder whether this whole issue doesn't have more legs on it than a lot of us thought. Is it possible that the Brits have a stronger ruling on that than the Americans? I doubt it, but it'll be interesting to see. So I thought I'd just mention that in case it is relevant later. Now, I also noticed that we've got all this posturing going on about the debate, and I thought I would use it as a learning lesson for us all. I wasn't there at the time, so I don't know what happened, but what I understand is that Fox pushed Trump one time too many, and Trump said no thank you. I also believe that Trump has always said, you need to give some of your profits to a good cause. I don't mind being there and upping your profits, and let's be honest, for the first time ever, I'm pretty sure that these debates have made an awful lot of money for the networks. But I believe that what Trump said was, let's share the wealth around. Anyway, but never mind that. I'm not a Trump fan, as you know, but I've got to give him credit where credit's due. So now, they started this thing or I don't know if they did, but they started tweeting some pretty pathetic tweets about him, and he reacted. So this is the old story. You know, if somebody pushes, you know, expect to have somebody else push back. And don't let's blame the person who pushes back. Let's have a look at the person who pushed in the first place. I also want to talk a little bit here about crisis of commitment, because at some stage Donald Trump had to say, is this worth it for me? And the answer is no. I don't need to be there. I'm already the front runner. So, with all due respect, up yours, Fox News. I'm out of here. And then they tried to guilt him back in again with that interview that they did. I don't think you guilt Donald Trump into anything myself, but you know, it's just my personal feeling. So the crisis of commitment is where you have to make a choice one way or the other. Now, the reason I wanted to bring this up as a learning lesson is because, you know, we've had, as you've heard, just a handful of people that have had a little bit of an issue over the last few days. And it is a little bit of an issue. And I don't minimize it in that. It is just, truthfully, that's what it is. Everybody involved in it obviously got emotionally upset, and quite rightly so. Nobody likes to hear that you're being negatively talked about. And I still don't know who started this, but we may never find out who started it, but whoever it was, hope you're happy. Hope you got the result you wanted, but here's the reality. If everybody looks at their situation, they get to make their choices, as I said yesterday. And so, but we do this every single day of our lives. We choose. Do I want to take a little bit of time away from this? Yes. Nothing wrong with that. Totally understandable. Because some level of trust has been lost, if there ever was one. So I think that is perfectly normal behavior. I don't think that is unusual behavior at all. Remember, we have to walk in other people's shoes. There's certain things going on for viewers that other people don't know about. So their reactions may be stronger than some wanted, but guess what? That's what they needed to do to be able to survive with their present emotional load. I think that's totally understandable. And so I've tried not to overreact to these things and rather honor them. When I say honor them, which is just go, okay, fine. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. Hope you'll come back one day, but if you don't, that's your right. So, you know, this is the crisis of commitment, is when you need to make the choice, and the choice may be very difficult. I had a crisis of commitment, for example, when I came all the way to Canada to get married, and 18 months later, didn't have a marriage. Do I stay in Canada, or do I go back to Africa? Crisis of commitment. I had to make some pretty difficult choices. And I had to make them in the depths of depression, because I can assure you, that's where I was when I had to make that decision. And I know enough about life to know you don't make major decisions when you are upset. And as somebody said, you don't go shopping when you're upset either. Thank you for that one, whoever it was that reminded me of that. Don't go shopping when you're upset. You're inclined to buy more. So it's okay, people. It's normal. It's understandable. And it's regrettable, but it's life. We're all going to piss each other off at some point or other. That, I don't care how popular you are, I am, or how unpopular you are, I am. It doesn't matter. It's going to happen. I look at all the other people. If we're going to have our lives on the internet, we're going to be involved with some people that we perhaps normally wouldn't. And that's healthy. Makes us look at our stuff. Now, I want to tell you a couple of really quite cute things here. The number one really cute thing was that Pat has been warning me for some days. That's our Pat in Newfoundland. She's been warning me for some days, weeks even, that there's a parcel on the way. And I have no idea what's in it, except I know I'm pretty sure it's handmade. And I also was warned that it has also a present for Yvonne. How kind is that? Now, for those of you who don't know, Yvonne is my friend who lives in the lower part of my home. I inherited her when I bought the house. And that was God sent for sure. So anyway, this parcel arrived. And so I went up to go and collect it. And I haven't opened it yet because I would like to have Yvonne with me, if possible, when I open it, because there's something in here for her as well, and I'm certain you'd all like to see her response as well as mine. So we're holding off until we can do it together. However, when I went to the post box to collect the parcel, they also handed me a Christmas card, which tells you how long it is since I've been to the post box. So I'd like to apologize to Joana and Erika Fernandez. If they happen to be listening to this, thank you so much for your Christmas card that I just got. How very kind of you. And in a way, I'm sort of glad that I only just picked it up now, because now you get a special shout out. But how embarrassing was that? Boy, I haven't opened up my post office box in some time, obviously. And so I'm just hoping that Joana and Erika have got a great sense of humor. I'm pretty sure they must have, because if you are a viewer enough that you want to send me a Christmas card, then I'm pretty sure you've got a sense of humor. So, humble apologies. And thank you so much for the kind gift. And Pat, I will get to send you our thanks in due course, but I am managing to curtail my need for instant gratification. The kid in me wants to rip open that box and find out what's inside it. And I can imagine certain viewers that I know pretty well going, yeah, do that, Sal, do that. Don't worry about Yvonne. Well, I do worry about Yvonne. And, once I've wrapped it up, I can't wrap it up again, in case, I'm not sure if there are two separate parcels in there or just one with both presents in it. knowing Pat and how thoughtful and kind she is, it probably is 2 separate ones in a big box. There's a thought. Anyway, but I can't be sure until I open the box, and I'd be heartbroken if I found otherwise, so I'm going to leave it plan A. Now, Yvonne doesn't come to the party, so to speak, within a few more days by this weekend, I'm going to be opening the box anyway. So it's going to be a fun time when we do. I just want to thank everybody for being human. One of the things we said when I said when I started this was, you know, I really didn't want this to be a perfect channel. When I say perfect, I wanted it to have human realities in it. And I just believe that being human is the best thing we can be. We're going to have good days and difficult days, and we're going to have fun days, and we're going to have some days where we wonder what the heck's going on in our lives. And you know, that's just being human. That's not that it's a bad life. It's just the way that life is. And I think if we can accept that and just go, hey, the same as I had to accept, for example, that, you know, my body didn't want to work for 2 days. Well, hello. I accepted that. I didn't like it particularly, but I accepted it. Now, I tried to let people know on Facebook that that's what was happening. But guess what? Not everybody chooses to check Facebook to find out what's going on with me. And as you know, I'm inclined to use Facebook as my diary to let you guys know what's going on. So yeah, I got a lot of people write to me in a bit of a panic, am I okay, and this, that, and the other, and I'm going, yep, I'm okay now. And then they said, you know, we didn't hear from you for a couple of days, and I, bless their hearts, it's nice to know people care. But I said I did actually let people know. I did, you know, let people know on Facebook. So, and I think even on Twitter. I just wasn't up to doing a vlog. Part of me goes, maybe I should be throwing up a throwback video on those days. Hey, you good guys need to let me know that. Would you rather that I did that on these days when things, you know, happen? Would you rather that I put up a throwback video rather than not a video at all? Interesting. Yeah, let me know on that one. Good question. All right. Word of the day? Life. Yeah, just remember, whatever's going on, it's all about life. Yeah, life does not have only good moments in it. It has everything in it. And the other thing is, as somebody said, I can't remember who said this, one of the viewers was saying that the greatest gift we can have right now is forgiveness, and just go, okay, fine. Whoever started this, maybe they were in a bad place as well. And as you know, then somebody else said, you know, some people just get their jollies out of causing trouble. Yep, that's also true. So I don't know which it was. Oh. But which, sorry, I was going to park somewhere and I found there's a better space. Yay. But my heart goes out to whoever it is that needed to cause the problem. and life goes on. Deep breath. Let's move on. Let's continue the good work that we do. This is Dear Mama Sal saying, remember the crisis of commitment? It's the fork in your road where you have to decide, do I go left or right? We all hit them along the way. It's part of life. This is Dear Mama Sal saying, thank you so much for watching. Look after one another, but most of all, of course, look after yourselves. And I'm proud of those of you who did, for whichever way you decided to do it. Good job. This is Dear Mama Sal saying, bye-bye for now.